Josh, congrats. First up, how are you feeling at the moment? I know you went up for a HIA, all clear in that regard, yeah?
Yeah, all good. Yeah. We have those gum shields now that kind of can flag big impacts, and I was kind of just pulled off for part of the process. I was pulled off and passed fine, and I suppose they just made it a substitution then. But yeah, I feel perfect. Thank you.
And that came from the gum shield, is it?
Yeah.
Very good. In terms of the game itself, like we had Andy in there chatting with us earlier on, and he was saying that on one hand, obviously, like Wales stifled you a lot. On the other, you probably could have won by more. What's your take on kind of how reflective the scoreline was on the game itself?
I think it didn't. I suppose from playing and being on the field, it didn't feel like the scoreline was. It was a big scoreline for the way the game felt. I thought Wales they defended really well. They came at us pretty hard at times, and I think one thing that kind of I suppose was very encouraging and pleasing was they spent a lot of time with lineouts, I suppose, just outside our 22 or in our 22, and kind of got into that maybe 5-10 meters out a good few times, and we managed to defend really well and get the ball back and get it back up the field. So I think that was probably one contributor to the scoreline, and then as well we definitely could have been more clinical, as you said, Andy had mentioned. Definitely could have been more clinical, but we did take chances as well at times. But I think definitely a lot of credit has to be given to Wales, I thought, for the way they defended and worked really hard. And it's obviously difficult for, I suppose, a team like that, a lot of younger guys, and whereas we're obviously at a different stage as a team, I suppose, which I suppose definitely makes a difference.
Hey Josh, how's it going? Ahead of the game, Jamie Roberts was doing some for ITV, and he said yourself, Pete and Caelan, in his view, are the best back row in world rugby at the moment. I was kind of wondering what you make of that, and would you kind of put any other back rows up there that you kind of are a big fan of?
Which is a nice compliment. It's hard to pick someone off the spot. I think like the likes of New Zealand, South Africa, they're always good in terms of their back row. France always a brilliant back row. It's kind of one thing I think has been really good for us in Ireland is the competition for back row in the provinces, and obviously internationally. I mean, look at last game. Thought Jack Conan was brilliant. He hadn't had a huge amount of game time before in the French game, and Ryan Baird's been really good. And there's just so much depth. I mean, you've a brilliant player like Nick Timoney who hasn't featured yet. So I suppose the competition definitely drives it on, but it's also, I suppose, the way the team wants to play. If some teams have the perfect back row for the way they want to play the game, and some can be more confrontational, some want more, I suppose, lighter, agile type players, and I suppose there's good combinations out there. I think England even for our next game will be a really tough test. So yeah, there's a lot of good back rows out there.
I just wanted to ask you about Joe McCarthy, because I was thinking of the lead up to the James Lowe try, where it was like Wales were doing well, repelling you, but then he just punches through and makes such a difference that he sucks people in. What type of a kind of how great is it to have a guy like that around you in the pack then, and in plays as well?
Oh, he's brilliant. He's I don't know how he does it, to be honest. He's like, I find it hard at 104 kilos, whatever I am, running around and trying to be explosive, and he's doing it I actually don't know what weight he is, but he's heavy. He's an unbelievable athlete, and he works very, very hard at his game, and I suppose he's one of those players that, and certainly this season we've seen it, he can have such destructive impact, I suppose, whether it's in attack or defence, and he certainly showed it the last while. And he's a great lad as well. Level head on his shoulders, and very, very glad I'm not coming up against him when he's on my team.
Stephen.
Josh, how pleased were you all that that was not just a team performance today, but a real squad performance, and the bench made such a big difference in the second half? Does it kind of say a lot about this group of players?
Yeah, it does. I think we look towards our goals as a team and stuff. Obviously, we want to be winning all the competitions we're involved in and all the games we're involved in. But to do that, you have to have a good squad as well. It's not just 15 lads that you rely on. Even looking at how well Robbie Henshaw did today, playing at 13. Obviously, Gary had been in 13 before. Kieran Frawley had a really brilliant game. I thought he was exceptional today. And obviously Hugo Keenan's been out. So, and then I suppose today the bench, how well they did. Cian Healy was flying around. He seemed to have about 20 involvements in the last 5 minutes. But it's what it takes to do well at this level as a group. You do need a squad. Rugby's a very abrasive game. People get tired, especially towards the end of the game, and having those people having those big impacts, and I suppose the depth in the squad is brilliant for us.